What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the shop. Now in this video I make this dovetail box by Matt Estlea. I've been following Matt's channel for a long time. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's just started a whole new lesson series and it's completely free. He's got his own website and everything. I'll leave links to the description below and links to his video series. So he takes you through this dovetail box from start to finish. And I've been following along with it, trying to develop some woodworking skills, and I have to say it's fantastic. So this turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. A few mistakes here and there. It's not 100% perfect, but like I say, my woodworking skills are a work in progress. So yeah, this is not going to be a how-to video. This is just going to be me building this. I'll show you the processes I use to make it. So you get to see me use some of my tools that I've made myself, some of my wooden hand planes. These Ashley oils chisels, they're pretty good. This wooden mallet, this mini workbench that I use for doing kind of fine woodworking stuff or practicing the fine woodworking stuff is extremely handy, especially if you're slightly taller. It's nice to have a little bench like this. A few other processes like that. I had to build a makeshift router table and it worked out perfect. So in an upcoming video I'm going to build an actual router table. This one is literally just a piece of plywood screwed to my workbench and it done the job. So you don't have to spend big money on a router table. You can just build one like that. So you'll see me do that in this video as well. Now it's also videoed over a few weeks, so I've been working on it according as I had an hour here and there. So I don't know how this edit is going together, but I'll try and keep it as short and sweet and interesting as I can. So yeah, without further ado, let's go build Matt's dovetail box. Let's do it. Right, just give you a quick look at what I'm at here. So I'm just at marking out these dovetails. So I like to use a knife and mark them down with pencil just so it makes it clearer. Mark your waist always so you know where you're going. But this is what I'm using. This is the Dovetail or the Veritas dovetail markers. They're very handy. This is a 1 1/8 one. So you have a square, perfectly square side, and then you have your angle for your dovetail. Like I say, this angle is 1 1/8 and there's a 1 6 1 2. So you literally just put it on top. They're nice. You can hold them firm, so it gives you a square edge straight over your top, and then you have your 1 1/8 angle there. So like I say, they're very easy to use. They're nicely made. They're made of metal. They're aluminum, I think, anodized black. And like I say, I love them because they make marking out your dovetails quick and easy. So yeah, I'm just using the marker knife that I made. These are working out pretty well. Made them from a plane blade. I'll leave a link up here if you want to watch how to make your own marker knives from an old plane blade. Go check that out. And yeah, so I'm just going to cut out all my dovetails now, and I'll get back to you when I have that done. Okay, I am back in the shop. I'm not sure when this video stopped, but a week has gone by. I finally got around to getting these dovetails cut out, so they're all fit up, ready to go. And I just like to number all of my joints so that my tails match my pins. So I use the tails, cut the tails first, use them then to mark out my pins, cut out my pins, and then keep everything marked. So 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. And now I have to sand all this before I get ready for glue up. So then what I like to do is just mark it in here where I'm not going to be sanding so that I still know what way this goes together. So yeah, let's get sanding this now and then we'll get ready for glue up. Okay, I'm just getting ready for the glue up. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly what I'm doing here. Again, Matt has done an unbelievable video. He has a whole video just on gluing up this box alone. I think it's actually the video I learned the most from. So there's a whole procedure you go to ensure that you keep your box perfectly square. And you make up these little things. I've just made these out of some plywood, double-sided sticky tape. They will push on the tails. So when I'm clamping, I will be clamping like this. They will ensure that I'm pushing in on these tails. I get good contact on the sides. Again, Matt explains all this in his video. He'll do a better job at it than I will. So this is just basically the process I'm using, the same as what he said. Now, and to ensure that my internal dimensions are good, so I want to measure from diagonal corner to corner. You can just get 2 sticks or anything like this. You hold them corner to corner like that, then take them and put them over this side and try and get them the exact same. So when you put them from corner to corner, just mark a line across here, line them up this way, see how much your line is off, and adjust your box so that you get the exact same internal measurement from opposite corner to opposite corner, and then you know that you're square. All right, and it's just handy, and rather than trying to use a measuring tape, trying to get an exact internal measurement, it's handy just to get 2 sticks or 2 hard pieces of anything like this, put them side by side, and yeah, that'll give you your internal measurement. Okay, so I'm going to glue this thing up now. Enough of me talking. Like I say, Matt does a great explanation this in his video. I'm just showing you the processes. Okay, so I'm filming this project over a few weeks. I think I started it about 2 weeks ago, so I'm not quite sure where I am in the video, but let you know where I am in the project. So I've made my sides, everything is sanded up now, so it's got its initial sanding. Everything is fit nice, so my dovetails are looking a lot better. Fill them in, and like I say, the initial sanding is done. I've made my base and I've made my lid. They're not fit yet. I still have to put a rebate and stuff into my lid. But just to show you what I've done, I've used maple with a sapele center, and I've mirrored that then for my base. So that's the same. So when you look in the box, try and hold this together, you will see essentially a mirror of the lid, just like that. So the next thing I want to do is glue this box to this base. I can trim it then to size once it's on. Just use the hand plane to do that. Then I need to put a rebate in this lid so that it sits down flush with the top, so a rebate either side so it sits into the box. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. I don't have a shoulder plane or a rebate plane, so I might have to make something with the router to do that, but we'll see. So yeah, and then I need to finish it off. I have to make a sapele plinth. So I have some sapele here, so I need to make a plinth that this box will sit on, that will have a nice chamfer around the edges. So yeah, we're not too far off it now. There's still a little bit of work to do, a few tricky things I have to do. The final finishing is a little bit tricky on it, but so far so good, and I'm quite happy with it. So let's glue this to its base now. That's the next thing to do. Okay, there is the base glued on. Again, there's not much to it, it's just glue on a base. I just marked the center lines on my box, on the walls of my box, and on my base, lined them up, glued it, and just clamped it. The only tip I'd give you for this is just make sure you get all that excess glue or all that squeeze out of the inside of your box, because once it all starts to go together, it gets really, really hard to clean out and sand the inside of a box. So it just makes it a bit awkward. So make sure you just get all that off, and yeah, just get it clamped on. So onwards and upwards, I need to machine my plinth. That will be my next job. So I'll get back to you when I have my strips made. Right guys, here is where we are. So I have the base fitted to the box now. I took a plane and planed down the edges so it fits perfectly all the way around. I have machined down my pieces to make my plinth. So I want a kind of a nice thick plinth. So these are 20 by 30 millimeter sapele. And I've just bodged together a router table because I have no shoulder plane or rebate plane. So I've just bodged a router table together, literally screwed a piece of plywood to my workbench, took the fence that I've made for my drill press table. I'll leave a link up there if you want to see how I made that. Drilled a hole in it, and now it's a router table. So I am going to make a router table in an upcoming video. The concept is fairly simple, it's fairly easy to make, and you can save yourself a heap of money. So I need to put a 12mm by 10mm rebate or rabbet in this, depending again where you are in the world, and that will sit all around my box. So I have 3 pieces, which should give me plenty of length and a little bit of waste in case I make a mistake on any of the miters. So yeah, we're going to run it through this makeshift router table now. Let's have a look and see if this works. Okay, so here is my fantastic router table. Again, just a bit of plywood. I've just clamped on my fence. I've measured back in 10mm off my bit. My bit is exactly 10mm, so it's literally right to the edge of my fence. Drew a line and clamped it right there so my fence don't move. And now I want to put a 12mm deep rebate. So I'm just going to work up to that. So we'll take a couple of passes straight through like this, and it should work. I just need to remember to keep my face side down and my face edge out the way on all my pieces. So yeah, let's give this a blast and see what happens. Okay, that works. Okay, there we go. That worked like an absolute charm. So you don't need to spend big money on a router table. A sheet of plywood and a few screws, and it's as good as any router table you will buy. So I will, in an upcoming video, make an actual router table. I'm going to get some nice birch ply, furniture grade plywood, and we will make a router table. Now, that's a botched together one, and it cut a perfect rebate or rabbet into this, which will sit on my box, just like that. Can you see? The camera will see. So now I need to miter all these so that they go all the way around my box, and then we have to put a chamfer on the edge here. And it's just really finishing work then. I need to pass the lid of my box through this guy as well, so I have to put a rebate in that so that it sits into the box. So I will do that as well. So let's rock on. Right, I have my 4 45s cut in my plinth that goes around my box. And what I like to do is cut them oversized and then kind of sneak up on it. You know, just take little shavings until you get them absolutely perfect. And that Bosch miter saw is absolutely exceptional. You can see just how fine those 45s are. They are perfectly matched up. The indentations on that thing are exact. I've done a review on it. I'll leave a link up here if you want to go check it out. It's an exceptional miter saw, worth every penny. When you see the kind of results you get like this, where you can barely even see that line, you wouldn't get that joint as good on a jointer. So as you can see, they're all slightly oversized. So what I'll do is I'll get this side fitting and I'll just chop it down bit by bit until I get it exact, and I shall get back to you. So I will work all these 45s down now to exactly where they need to be. Okay, there we go. We have the plinth all cut to size. All our miters are good. Our rebate is good, and it fits our box perfectly. So like I say, that Bosch miter saw is exceptional. It's for such a big saw. The fine work you can do on it is unbelievable. And like I say, I cut my joints oversized and then just trimmed them back until everything fit perfectly with my box. Now I need to sand my box, sand this plinth, and then glue it all together. So that's the next process. So I'll do that and I'll get back to you when everything is glued up and sanded. Okay guys, there we go, all glued up, just using 2 sash clamps. So we have plenty of pressure all the way around, and the box is nice and pinned in there now. So as you can see, there's the underside of it. Everything is looking good. So we shall let that to dry. Okay, next we are on to the lid, and I need to take my lid down by this much either side. I've just marked a little pencil line, lined it up with the box, and now I need to plane this down to make sure that my lid fits perfectly, and then I need to put a rebate or rabbet either side of this so that it sits down into the box. So that's what I'm going to do next. Clamp it in the vise here and just plane it down. Keep checking until it is right. Okay guys, this is where we're at. I've just added the little finger or nail groove here. I've just used a round bottom foil to round that in. Hit it with a bit of 240 grit sandpaper then, sanded it off nice and smooth. I've done the rebate on my lid just the same way as I did the rebate for my plinth all the way around. Ran it through the makeshift router table, and so that fits nice and snug, and you have that little lip here just for taking it off so you can get a grip there. So that's what that's for. So that fits nice and snug. Everything is nice and tightly fit. I added some screws then to the base just to give some strength to the plinth to make sure it all gets held together. I didn't kind of like the idea of glue alone. There is a little bit of pressure on those miters as I clamp them, so there is a chance in the future that they could spring back out, but once they're clamped, glued and then screwed, we're not going to go anywhere, and it'll add a bit of strength to it too. So now what I need to do is put my chamfer in around my plinth, and to do that I've just got 5mm marked on my marking gauge. I'm going to scribe 5mm around the whole way like this, and then a 5mm down the way as well, and I'm just going to chamfer to that. That should give me a 45-degree chamfer, hopefully. I don't want to go too mad, just a nice little detail on the edge of it. I think that should be good. I actually like the square edge look too, but I'll put a little chamfer in because why not? That's what Matt did, and it looked quite well. So let me mark this out and we'll rock on and do that. Right, there we go. We're 5mm down with our line scribed all the way around and 5mm in all the way around. So we will work this line to this line now. These marking gauges are fantastic. If you haven't got one, think about getting one. This is just a Veritas one. There's plenty of different makes. It's just a blade wheel on top. They're so easy to use. They're not big and cumbersome like those other ones. And you can go across grain and with grain as well with them. So you just need the one marking gauge. It's so easy to adjust. You can get them with and without the marking lines on them. I think they're fantastic. So yeah, definitely look at getting one of those. So now on to planing this thing. Let's do that. Right, this should be a case of just work to our two lines then. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. So once we've established that angle, I suppose, just try and work it the whole way down and just try and get your two lines to meet up. There we go. So we're line to line there now, and so we'll flip it around and just keep working the edges. Repeat this process. Okay, there we go. Our chamfer is on the whole way around. It's not a big one, it's just a nice 5mm one at a 45-degree angle. So we're 5mm in and 5mm down. And the beauty of these little block planes, these wooden block planes, is when you're getting to the end of a project, the wood won't mar the wood, whereas a metal block plane can leave marks. And we're getting very close to finishing now, so yeah, I'll leave a link in the description of where I built this little plane. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. Also, this mini workbench, if you're tall like me, having a mini workbench like this to do your final finishing work is great because it's at kind of chest height where you can work on it. You're not bending down and you're not hurting your back. So yeah, I've also done a complete video on this series, or this build, so go check that out as well if you're interested in it. So now all that's left with this box is the final sanding and apply the finish. So let's get on that. Right, we are sanded to 240 grit. Everything is ready to go, so it is just a case of apply the oil now, and I'm going to use some Danish oil to finish this. So I'll build up a couple of coats over the next couple of days and sand them back and just try and get a nice finish on this. And yeah, that should be it. Fairly straightforward. So you've probably seen me apply oil finishes 100 times before, so I won't spend too long on this. It's just a case of wipe them on, let them dry a bit and wipe off the excess, and keep building it and sanding it back if you need to, and keep building it up to the finish that you want. Again, it's always nice to see the oil go on. Applying the finish is always one of my favourite parts. Right guys, there we go. That has been my dovetail box build following along with Matt Estlea's lesson program, and it's turned out pretty well. Few mistakes here and there. Dovetails aren't 100% perfect. A little bit of an issue fitting the lid, but it seems to be fitting fine now. Again, these are all skills that are being developed, let's just say. So yeah, I have a couple of more oil coats to go on it yet, a little bit of sanding to do here and there, but it's almost home and hosed. I'm actually going to add some, I think I might make a little walnut box to go on the inside. So this is going to be a jewellery box for the missus. So yeah, I might add a little layer of walnut around the outside, and then a little tray of walnut, or kind of a box that will sit on top of that again. So it'll like be a 2-layer thing. So that's what I might add to it. But yeah, so there we go, a dovetail box. Hopefully this has been interesting. Hopefully it inspires you to go out and try it, and definitely go check out Matt's series. It's fantastic. Check out his channel too. If you're into woodworking, you will love it. You've probably already subscribed to him if you're watching my channel. But yeah, that's it guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I shall see you in the next project. Take it easy.